Listen, I know, guys. We didn't do our cheers today. I ain't
even got no cup.
Right. I got water today. So like, y'all don't get whiskey. Y'all don't get whiskey Troy today. I'm sorry, you don't get whiskey Troy. My tooth hurts, so I'm not even thinking about touching the damn drink. All right, but what's up, guys? Yeah, right. Welcome back to another episode of Nightcap. I'm here with BooWop. What's up, BooWop?
What's the word?
Not much. And we got Alex in the building, man. Alex, gotta introduce yourself for the people that may not know you.
So my name is Alex Rodriguez. Not related to the baseball player. I made a comment under Troy's take, or I think it was BooWop's take. I made a comment on the take.
Yeah,
and I think they invited me on. Yeah, and they invited me on the show to talk about it and discuss it, and we're discussing it.
That's right. And then listen, that's what I appreciate. Yeah, it was your take. It was the what take
Bradley
was
Beal,
it?
Jaylen Brown defense.
Oh yeah, it was the defense take when you said
Bradley Beal being a better defender than Jaylen Brown. I couldn't let that one slide, man.
Hey, talk about it.
Let's talk about it too. Let's talk about it. What's up?
So in what way is he a better defender? Because I don't see it. So I want to hear what you think or what you see when you see Bradley Beal play defense that makes you say, oh yeah, he's better than Jaylen Brown.
Nothing really. It's like what I'm talking about is based off of like we said, that's kind of a moment in time, right? We were really talking about who's a better player between Bradley Beal and Jaylen Brown, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My whole thing is I respect Jaylen Brown defense, but the thing about Bradley Beal's defense is not going to get talked about because he's not playing on a great defense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't definitively think he's a better defender. Might have caught me in the heat of the moment.
You were too far down. I get it.
See, Alex, the day shows are different from the night shows. This is our laid back show. You got to make one of our day shows so we can show you how heated we get there. We get heated over there.
I got a little nasty in the middle of that. But again, like I said, I can't definitively tell you that Bradley Beal's a better defender, but I can't do the same thing for Jaylen Brown. What I will say is Jaylen might be a little longer because he's a longer defender and can guard a small forward better than Bradley Beal. But when I look at Bradley Beal's defense, though, because I watch both of them play big defense, Bradley Beal's a very underrated defender. He gets up inside the guys. He's just not on a great defensive team. And when you're not on a great defensive team, it's not going to be highlighted that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, especially if you're losing the way they're losing too. Like, nothing he really does gets respected truly. Like, he's a great scorer, but people don't talk about it that much because he's losing. So I'm just saying, like, I just thought the Jaylen Brown, like in that moment, the Jaylen Brown hype train was getting a little bit too much for me. Probably just felt I was arguing with Gbaby again. Like, I don't want somebody to take one part of my take and make
Big Taz.
my knowledge. You know what I mean? Like I said, like
I got you.
I wouldn't. That's why I said, like, it's not like I said he's a better defender than Marcus Smart or anything like that. Jaylen Brown, you see what I'm saying? Like, Jaylen Brown,
a little crazy.
That'd have been wild. That'd have been out of, you know what I'm saying? I just said, in my opinion, that I was tired of the Bradley Beal slander a little bit on that episode. It was a lot of slander for him.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Troy said, though, we appreciate you for coming on the show, though, and still, you know what I'm saying, challenging us. It's not a lot of people that do it every day. Like, a lot of people will say what they say on the chat and then run from it. So I appreciate that.
Of course,
100%.
Appreciate you for having me.
And then, no, it was 100. And listen, and I already would tell you this. Like, we didn't even get to conversations yet. If you ever want to come back, let me know, because, like I said, I got respect for you to talk your shit, call us trash. Then when I came at you, you didn't back down. You stood your ground and was like, all right. And then when we messaged you, came at me like a man. You was like, yeah, I apologize. You should never, said that about the podcast. I should have went about it. And I was like, nah, it's all good. You expressed yourself. We talked about it. It was a good conversation. See, what we're looking for is people to add to the conversation. We're not looking for people that just be like, oh, this take is trash or this is trash or y'all crazy.
Yeah,
Like
just empty opinions. You want someone to be able
right.
to explain it and like have knowledge behind what they're saying. I get it, 100%, 100%.
Yeah. And that's
Word, Trent.
you know, that's what a lot of us is about. Trent, my boy, what's good with you?
Trent is our other person on the night show, but he's a wide receiver at Houston State, so he had to go do his thizzles.
Oh, well, good luck to him.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
But yeah, once I saw you apologize, I was like, I'm gonna get along with this dude because he could say his shit and then back.
Yeah, I'm a real man.
I'm
a real man.
Yeah,
I'm 100%
but
a real
also
man.
be like, nah, I'll come up there and like come show my face and say what I said. Like I told you, one dude was like, oh, I was gonna follow until y'all said this, and I'm like, that's your business. I literally hit him like, that's your business. Like your one follow isn't like you don't have a golden follow. Like, yeah, we want people to follow, but we don't want people that's going to be negative, not add to the conversation. We want people that's going to be part of the community here, that's going to appreciate each other, right? Appreciate each other, talk to each other, and debate each other. Like, not all of us think the same. Like, we don't all think the same, and that's the joy of sports debate. Like, I see some people in the comments on TikTok like, why y'all even having this comparison? Because it's a discussion. Like, it's fine. Like, you might not agree with it, but it's fine, and that's all I care. Yeah, you know, I got to get my white coat, man. I got to get the white coat and the little professor glasses for you guys. And then I'll do the professor emote. Once I get that stuff, I'll do the professor emote. These guys be on it. We got a good chat. We just switched to this time because we normally do it like 9. First, we was doing it at 10. Then we did it at 9. So we got to let them figure out that we're online before they start, pouring in here. But what are your thoughts, Alex, on the playoffs so far? Who you got winning tonight's game?
Oh, I got Boston. I'm a Boston fan. I told you that when we were texting the first time. Yeah, Boston. I see the Larry Bird. I was gonna say something about it, but I was like, let's wait into the conversation. But yeah, I'm a Boston fan.
Let's get it.
For about 15 years, I had the Warriors taking this series for a couple of reasons. If we got time to speak on it.
Yeah, no. We got all the time in the world and set to hit 9:30 Eastern.
All right, so basically the reason that I had it was because of three reasons. The experience that the Warriors have that we didn't have. They've been to the finals, someone said, like 6 times in the past 8 years. Mm-hmm. And this is our first rodeo. So being young, being 25, 24, being the oldest person on the team is Allen. Then after that, I think it's Smart, who's 28. So we have vets, but we don't have championship experience vets the way that the Warriors do. And I don't think anyone really does. So I felt like that was going to be one of the reasons. Another reason is Rob playing, better than a lot of other people, because as Boston fans, we see that he's injured and we know what Rob used to be. But obviously the knee surgery slowed him down. He doesn't move the same way.
He could be rushing back too.
Yeah, I think he definitely was rushed back after the Bucs series.
That could be a bad thing going forward, and that's the only reason. I understand he's important, and I'm with you. I said this too. I'm gonna be a Boston fan and say Boston in 7, but I could see the Warriors taking this. And what did I say, BooWop? Because of their what? Experience. That's all I go up, because we don't have that experience. I'm in a lot of Boston groups on Facebook, and they're up and down there. It's like they're not even fans. They don't understand, like, we got what it takes to get here. Like, this ain't gonna be the first year this team gets here. Like, yeah, we need to move. I feel like we need to move a couple of pieces and get better pieces in those roles. But it's not the last time Boston to be it. But this is the first time we're here. And to go up against a team that had to face LeBron James in the finals year after year after year.
Exactly.
And expect us to go in and beat them the first time around. It's not impossible, but
it's very
people might be looking at you. Yeah, people might be looking at you sideways. So I do have Golden State coming out this series, even though I'm still going to say Boston in 7, because I think if we win it, it's in 7. I don't think we lose tonight's game because we haven't lost 2 games back to back. But we have lost game 3 on our home floor when we played it in this playoff. So I'm kind of worried there.
Yeah.
I think it was a meniscus.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just talking to the chat. I think it was a meniscus kid. I'm not sure, but I can tell you, I had a meniscus tear that's probably still torn because I ain't gonna get it fixed. Because I don't really. I'm shaking his head. Don't bother me. It don't bother me. But I used to go to the doctor for it when it was bothering me. But once it stopped, I was like, all right, it healed up. It did whatever it needed to do to get back right. But those things hurt, bro. Those things hurt, and they can linger. They can linger a long time too after you have surgery. So him not sitting out as what he needed to sit out, for him to come back and play in these playoffs shows me he had he has a lot of testicular fortitude, as GK likes to say on his show. He has a lot of toughness in him to come back and play like an injury. You know, that reminds me of what KD did for the Warriors when he went down and he came back knowing he could go right back out with a similar injury, and he wound up tearing his ACL. That's toughness. That's toughness in a player to come back knowing like I'm not 100%, and it could prolong me for next season. Like, what if Rob comes back and this off season he thinks he's working it out, and then at the start of next season he's injured again? That's going to affect us early. So I don't think people always talk about the Heat series. How the Heat.
Oh my God!
Injured.
Yes.
But they don't take into the fact that Marcus Smart was injured. He was playing hurt. If you looked in the Bucks series and in the Heat series, every time Jaylen Brown did something, he grabbed his damn hamstring. That thing still bothers him. Tatum shoulder popped out of place, and my brother shoulder popped out of place. I know
even
from
before
experience,
that,
it can pop as it wants. It can go as it wants. So that still bother him. Marcus Smart ankle when Bam, whoever fell on it in the Heat, that still bothers him. So Lowry. Like, don't think just because like we're playing teams that are hurt or Middleton wasn't there. You know, I heard somebody say Middleton was a shell of himself this year, so we don't know how much help Middleton would have actually been to us, the Bucks. But don't act like Boston wasn't hurt and fighting through adversity to get to where we were.
Exactly.
No, they did. They definitely did.
I wanted to also bring that up because a lot of people keep talking about our injuries, and even before Tatum's shoulder, his wrist also got messed up when he was in the. I forgot when it happened. I think it was on the dunk on Giannis when Giannis clipped him on the back.
Mm-hmm.
In transition, and then he got up and he was like holding his wrist, and he had like it was wrapped, and he was at the post game conferences with it on, and it's like our team was also beat up, but because it doesn't fit their narrative, all they're gonna look at is the Celtics had an easy path, and it's comical when the Bucks fans do it because like Kyrie Irving, James Harden, like last year, like come on,
yeah.
If we're being honest, the only reason y'all won that shit is because they went down.
But and I think that too. I think last year the Nets would have went all the way and won it, and then we wouldn't have this narrative on KD. But it's so funny because if the Heat would have beat us, then it would have been the same narrative. Oh, yeah, I played injured teams. You played the injured Joel Embiid. You played you played the injured Boston. Like, it's just like that's what I hate about like debates. But I love having them at the same time. Is that a lot of people would sit here and just take one thing because we got somebody up here on our show that does it. Shout out Gbaby. They just take one thing and they'll just use it for the one person or the narrative they want to push and not use it for the other side of it. Like,
but what I will say, the difference between the Giannis this year injury, where he legitimately didn't have his number 2 the whole series, where KD did have Kyrie some last series, and
but you can say that's different too. You can say that's different too because when KD and when they was healthy, they were up 2-0 on the Bucks, and then once Kyrie went down, they won one more game and got bounced to 7.
I'm not saying it.
No, I'm not saying. But I'm just saying you can look at it in the same way.
I'm saying the injury still was worse for Giannis this year than versus KD. He had his number 2 help some versus Middleton not being there at all, and partially none in the first series.
But do you think the Bucks should move Middleton? Because I do.
I think they would have to lose with him on the floor before they got to do that. They would have to lose.
They've lost with him on the floor.
Yeah, but not after they don't win a title and stuff. They don't win the title. Then the next year,
we done seen coaches get fired after winning the title.
Yeah, but that's coaches. It's not it. And usually the best player has something to do with that. Giannis wants to play with Middleton. Like, he wants to play with. That's his boy. They came up together. Like, he loyal like that. So, like, it would take Middleton to like fall off completely. You know what I'm saying? Not be an all-star type player no more, which is possible in the next year or two. He's kind of older. He's like 30, I think. Which is possible, but it would still take them to lose. Like, Giannis would have to feel like he can't win with him no more.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that though, because what I think is if management gets an offer for Middleton that helps that roster then and in for the future, or they're taking it.
Yeah, but
if you can go and get, but that's what I know it's not likely, but I'm just saying.
No, I know
it's likely.
what offer do you think you could get from Middleton to better the Bucks? Because you got to remember, when he's healthy, he's easily 20-point per game scorer, can give you 30 or 40 when he gets hot. Very good defender.
But
Already knows
the
the
biggest
system.
knock on Chris Middleton is he's very, very inconsistent.
He is.
He is 100%.
So if you can find somebody in his position that does what he does, that's more consistent, I think the Bucks take it. Because now you got to look at it. The Nets healthy, Philly healthy, right? Boston healthy, Bucks healthy. That's 4 juggernauts. The Bucks ain't easily walking through those teams. They could lose to those teams healthy with Middleton there any given season. So what I'm saying is you want to better your roster to make you be that number one edge.
Because they got to find out though, Troy. Like that's what I'm saying. Like they would have to find out. Like
listen. This was like 2 years of trade talk with Middleton, so I think they know already.
I don't think they know because again, when they got Drew Holiday, the first year they got Drew Holiday won the title. So everybody looks at Drew Holiday as being the guy that made it happen. Like put this team over the top because you had Middleton and Giannis for many years and they couldn't get past it. And it was because, in my opinion, it was because of Bledsoe. But then they get rid of Bledsoe and they get Drew Holiday, a guy that
about, Drew Bledsoe?
No,
Eric Bledsoe.
Yeah. Come on, guys. Terry Rozier, Eric Bledsoe. I know who Eric Bledsoe is. He called him Drew Bledsoe.
I forgot.
He wore the shirt. Come on, man. Boston reference.
Yeah, that's my boy too. You know, but anyway. I just think they would have to still lose in order for that to happen. Of course, if you can get Zach and Mitch, you would do that.
But that's where I was going when he said, "Do you think you're moving?" Well, the Jazz are in a debacle right now. Like you got your both two stars right fighting. Your coach stepped down. You got a new coach. You looking for a new coach. Something you need to overhaul the roster. Your best 2 trade pieces is Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert.
But do you think the Utah Jazz are trading Donovan Mitchell for Middleton?
And not just Middleton.
I know. Like,
it have to. What if it's a 3-team trade and they get 2 more?
Something possible like that, yeah. I mean, it's gonna have to be something in that.
What if Zach wants to sign there? What if Zach wants to sign with the Bucks? So you say he wants to
I don't think he can. I don't think they got enough.
They would have to get rid of Middleton to pay him. Is what I'm saying.
But they just signed. They would have to still either do a sign and trade with the Bulls to make the money match or something like that.
No, that could be true too. And I would send Middleton to the Bulls to go play with DeRozan. I don't give.
Yeah, I mean,
what I care for him.
I don't know. Like that's what I'm saying. Like to me, this is all based off of how Giannis is feeling about it. Like Giannis is the franchise player. They're gonna ask Giannis first. They're not gonna just do that because Giannis might not want to.
I get it, but but how much say does Giannis have if the trade offer that's on the table, upper management really likes? He doesn't have that much say, bro. They're gonna take it into consideration. I don't think he has that much say.
I think Giannis is at that level. I honestly think that he's at that level now where his front office personally is going to look at them and say, whatever you need, you get, because he already won them a championship. They got him Drew Holiday. They kept Chris Middleton. They basically kept the same core of the team. They have Lopez, same coach. Do we know if Giannis likes Coach Bud or not? Because I don't know how he still has a job.
That's a good question.
The poor playoff performances, the bad rotations, the scheme that just never changes, and he still has a job. So there has to be someone in his ear.
The scheme that never changes is important.
Exactly. So I think there has to be someone in his ear.
If you get a D Mitch or a Zach over there with him, that changes the scheme dramatically because now you're number 2 instead of a 24. Because I looked up his stats, 24 to 25 point, average a season. You're looking at 27, 28, maybe 29, maybe even 30 from Mitch a season. So that helps Giannis take the pressure off of him, so where he doesn't have to get the ball at half court and put his head down, charge towards the rim, and dunk the ball. He was first in charges taken in the regular season, and I think in the playoffs, still with him being bounced in the second round.
But I think that has to change. That still happens.
It has to change, and I think if he has another surefire player that can create and do those things at a high level. I'm not saying Middleton can't, but I think there's players that's better than Middleton that can do it at a better level. Zach being one of them, and then Mitch being another one. I mean, I would just go look up their shooting percentages and see.
No doubt those 2 players are better players than Middleton, but With Donovan Mitchell, you might get a better offensive, more explosive offensive
Yeah, but defense.
player. But defensively, you lose a lot losing with that. Now,
Well,
Zach LaVine
can you really say that with Middleton not being there this year though, and the defense they played with Boston? I don't think you can say that. I think if you get Bobby Portis back and you get that roster back and just change a few pieces, I think that defense is still the same without Chris Middleton there.
I don't think that. See, I don't want to downplay Middleton like that. Like,
no, I'm not downplaying him. I'm not downplaying. I'm just saying if you look at the small sample size that we had, right, from the first series to the second series of the defense that they played without Middleton, you can say that they're still a competent defense without him being added into that system.
They're competent. Like, yeah, no doubt. I'm not saying they're terrible or nothing like that. I'm still saying, like, there's no denying that Middleton would have made them better. Like, period. There's no denying that. Like, I'm not saying guaranteed they're going to win the series against Boston. Not saying that. Because I still think Boston could beat them, healthy or not. But again, you can't deny that Middleton would have helped that series. Like,
I'm not denying, but then you can go look at what people were saying. If you look at Middleton's regular season numbers, he was a shell of himself. So if you're taking that and he's going into the playoffs a shell of himself, if he never got his footing under him, then how much is he really going to help the Bucks? I can see it in a scenario of him hurting them and us actually winning games more easier because he's struggling to get off where he needs to get off. And they're relying on him to be that second guy in the offense instead of just relying on, Giannis Antetokounmpo to be the first, second, and third option like they did. I do think that hurt the Bucks this year. I think if Middleton was there, it would have helped them out some, but I could still see Boston beating them in 7.
Yeah, I'm not saying they couldn't, but I'm just still saying again, like, I think he helps them more than he hurts them, no matter what. Like,
what's up, Gabe?
Will he help them to win it all against Boston or win the title? That's up for discussion.
Yeah.
But
no, he does help them.
He just help them. Like, I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't see no scenario where he hurts him being on the court. Like,
I can see a scenario where he's hurting them.
I can't, because even if he was struggling to, like, that's like Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson wasn't Klay Thompson, but he's still helping the Warriors.
Oh, no, 100%.
Like, his presence 100%. On the court is helping. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but he's still having big games for him, too. Do you think, I don't know how, to the extent of Chris Middleton's injury to his knee, if he could have came back, because you got to remember he was injured in the beginning of the season too. Chris Middleton missed some games. Yeah. So this season just wasn't a healthy season for him. And if I'm just taking what I saw from him this season and bringing it into the postseason, I don't think he helps the Bucks much. I think he hurts them. That's just what I think.
I don't see him hurting them. I'm not saying he puts them over the top. I'm just saying I can't see him hurting them. Like, they needed something from him that they wasn't getting from nobody else. Like, but Giannis, like, nobody else was giving him a possible consistent second scoring option. Drew Holiday was too busy trying to guard Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. Like, he needed some help, and I think Chris Middleton could have been there. Don't know how much. Like you said, he wasn't playing that well coming into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought about what Troy was talking about, because moving Middleton off the Bucks would, to me, almost be like moving Klay off the Warriors. And I feel like if you do put Zach or Mitchell, now that he mentions it, into the Bucks, regardless of the kind of defense you lose, because he can they play that little zone where they leave a person wide open, or however they play. So they can just put Mitchell or Zach in that and just have them be fast off the rotations to get the shooters and close out. I don't think he had to like press up on JB or JT or anyone like that if he could give like 25, 30-point games in the playoffs with Giannis. And I never thought about trading Middleton for a player like that, but I low-key now feel like they probably might be better, even though they lose in defense. I feel like the offense like just skyrockets to a point where the defense is like, it's okay if we lose this.
But see, a key for the Bucks too, I'm seeing here is Bobby Portis is a free agent. He got opted out of, not free agent, but he got opted out of his contract. So they say he took less money on his contract. So he probably won't resign because he wants more money, or he could resign and just keep the contract he has. Wesley Matthews is also a free agent.
You could replace him.
But I see a lot of pieces that I'm not saying even if they keep Middleton, I see some pieces that the Bucks can go grab that could help their team.
Of course, everybody can do that though. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like
I mean, yeah,
it's a
that's
lot of
true.
teams that can just improve every year. All I'm saying is that
John Wall.
far as the Bucks, they would probably have to run it back and see what they got before they overreact.
That's something to talk about. Do you guys think John Wall opts into his contract? I would.
Yes.
I would. I'm sorry.
He does not put $47 million on the table after coming off of injury and say, I want a longer deal. He's not getting that. He's opting in. He's opting in.
The Rockets probably over there like, look, if you just take less money, then we can. Nah. Fuck that. Y'all asked me not to play. I told you I wanted to play. I'll play on the bench. You told me no. Like, nah,
man, I'm opting in. Give me my money, bro.
Give me my money because I might not ever play another basketball game in the NBA again in my life.
Simple as that.
You motherfuckers. And I think John Wall still got game.
Oh yeah, he definitely does.
Still got a lot of game in him, and I think if they would have, I think he would have helped the Lakers last year. I don't know. I don't think Russ played bad, but I think he definitely would have helped the Bucks.
The Lakers.
Nah, why you wilding, Gabe? No, nobody wants Russell. Stop it. Why would they? Okay, let's do this, right? Because we are throwing hypotheticals out there, so let's indulge Gabe for a minute, guys. Why would they trade Chris Middleton, who's a shooter, for Russell Westbrook, who's going to clog the paint? Like, that makes no sense. Like, come on, let's give me another realistic. Give me a realistic trade.
Yeah, I don't think I got to talk about that one for long.
Right. But no, I was saying this towards the beginning of this season. That's what I would have did, but the Rockets didn't want to do it. I would have swapped. I'm not blaming it on Westbrook. I'm not blaming it on Westbrook, and I'm not even leaning towards Westbrook can't make it work with LeBron. I'm not even on that side. I think they can make it work. I think it was a lot of other things that went into last year's season: injuries, coaching, front office. Like, it's a lot of things that went into that Lakers season that, you know, could be taken away from it. So I do think Russ coming out this year, if he's still on that Lakers team, he plays it's going to be a better Russ, and they'll have an idea of what he can do for the team. But I would have what are the Lakers missing?
John Wall wouldn't have been in though.
Shooting. John Wall could have gave him shooting though.
John Wall can't give you no shooting.
Yes, he can, bro.
Man, no.
It would have been better than Westbrook, but I don't think it would have been to a level where they're like, oh yeah, we're happy with him shooting. I feel like John Wall has always been like
when AD went down. No, when AD went down, I think John Wall could have definitely stepped up in the role and gave him 20 points.
No, he could have, but just not shooting.
Just not shooting. Russ did that.
Without the turnovers though, and it would have been. I don't know if it would have been. I think it just would have been more impactful. That's just me.
It would have been more impactful.
I think it would have been more impactful on the game because Russ looked lost out there. That's the only reason I'm saying that. I don't think John would have been lost out there. I think John Wall would have went out there and understood that they needed buckets, and he would have went and got them buckets.
He also would have played defense.
To say that is almost like saying like John Wall is just better than Russell Westbrook.
No, I'm not. I'm a better scorer.
He's not a better scorer than Russell Westbrook.
Better shooter. He's a better shooter.
He's a slightly better shooter.
He's a better shooter, my boy.
He's a slightly better shooter. Like slightly better. The numbers say he's a slightly. The numbers say he's a slightly better shooter. The eyes tell you he's a way better shooter. He looks more.
He played 40 games. He shot 40 and 31%. 40% from the field and 31% from the three. Listen,
that's terrible.
No, it's not, bro. That's from him. That's from him not even playing a year. That's him. Terrible, come on. Let's not do this. Let's not do this because I'll go compare these numbers to Klay Thompson numbers right now. Like, stop it. He didn't play a whole year. He didn't, right? But I'm not saying they're terrible. He didn't play a whole year. So coming back off a left heel Achilles infection, all those 3 injuries he had. Like, there's 3 of them.
I think looking at Oladipo's numbers would probably be a better look, more than Klay.
Okay, that's fine. I agree with that, Alex. He could definitely put John Wall in an Oladipo role on the Lakers, and he'd give him 20 points off the bench like a hero. He gives you 20 points off the bench like a hero. He move Russell Westbrook off the bench, and Russell gives you 20 points off the bench. So even if you wasn't going to use John Wall in your starting lineup, you could have definitely put John Wall in your second unit to keep your scoring up when LeBron had to go out, or when AD was injured, or when Russ wasn't, contributing. You keep Russ. I don't care. You just find a way to get off the contract. I would have swapped them just to see what happened because all the talk was it was Russ. I don't believe that, but I think at that point where it was Russ, if you would have put John Wall in there, everybody would have just been looking at him as he was the savior, bro.
Savior of what? Them not making the
The
playoffs.
saviors of the Lakers. They would have made
They
it.
still
They would have
not made the
definitely made the
playoffs.
play-in,
Trust me.
bro.
They would have still
They
not
probably,
made
they
the
probably
playoffs.
make it with John Wall. They probably make it with
They
John
make
Wall.
the play-in with John Wall, bro.
What
Playing 100%.
he just told you John Wall numbers. When we last seen him in 40 games.
Right, that's
Houston,
40 games though.
they were terrible.
Right, on Houston.
On
Now,
Houston.
Put him
LeBron James.
BooWop, right, you're putting
Anthony
him next to
Davis.
LeBron James in a 35-game, 40-game Anthony Davis.
Bro,
like, you're giving him weapons to use.
What y'all failing to realize is that he might not be the same player no more. And that was a lot of indication of it from last year, whatever year that was he played in Houston, because he ain't played none in 2 years. I'm not trading for a guy. I don't know how he's going to look. I'm not doing that.
Nah, bro.
But we know what Russ is.
Do you think he could be any worse than what Russ is right now? Because from what we've seen, the bar isn't that low.
Can't tell you he's gonna be. I wouldn't say
John Wall just isn't a good player.
Worse. I wouldn't tell you be worse.
Then John Wall just isn't a good player because he shot 30% from the three his whole career and shot 40% from the field his whole career.
Based on what I've seen,
his highest he shot from the field is 45%. His highest from three-pointer is 35%.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not even him being a shell of himself. He's down to 31 and 40. That means
what
he can
year
still
was
play
that
ball.
when you brought that up? The career highs.
I'll just go back to his. I could go to his last year in Washington. His last year in Washington, he shot 44% from the field and 30% from the three-point line.
30% from the three is terrible.
That is. I get it. That is terrible.
That's what the Lakers need, though, right? That type of spacing, right?
Yeah. I don't think he benefit as a shooter from Russ. He's like what BooWop said.
I'm talking about standing next to us.
Slightly better. It's like all I'm saying is that at the end of the day, Russell Westbrook is at the end of the day, he's going to get killed in a sense, or he got more expectation. You expect more. So I think John Wall could have played, I would say better, right? I just don't think it would be more impactful because at the end of the day, I just think it wouldn't be that much expectations from John Wall. He coming back from an injury. He coming in, he averages 16 points, 7 assists. Everybody gonna be like, yeah, that's decent for John Wall.
It's same, but I still give John Wall
the triple double. Everybody expects more from him. That's what the reality is. So do you think? Go ahead.
Do you think we get more from Russ next year with the new coach?
I think it's possible for sure. I think so. I think it's possible.
Do you think if the Lakers struggle that they're going to fire him within the first year of him being there?
No.
Because I was going to say, if they do that, that's fucked up because you gave Frank Vogel, 3 years, 2 years? Like, and then Frank won you a championship. Yeah, then Frank gave you a championship. You just told Frank to go kick rocks and shit. Like,
but I think they just had to fire Frank because he lost the locker room. Once you lose the locker room, you gotta kind of go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I said that. I said he lost. He lost the locker room. There was nothing they could do. I don't think those guys believed in him. Somebody did comment on the video I put on TikTok, and it was like, I think they believed in. He said, I think they believed in. LeBron believed in his defensive schemes the first year, but then after that, it was just like, nah.
But you can't like if I'm Frank Vogel, how you gonna believe in my defensive scheme when you gave all my young defensive players away?
Exactly.
Like,
they brought in a 35-year-old Carmelo, a 30-something-year-old Malik Monk, all of these offensive shooters, and they let Caruso walk when they would have offered him the money. He even said he would have took less, but Genie just, for some reason, didn't want to keep him. It's like when you got a team known for what it is, and then you tell the coach, oh, yeah, give us the same defense, that's impossible. Like, you just can't do it.
Yeah, then you got older guys that can't move that much either, and that's why I said the Lakers only got like 4 people like on their roster right now. They only got like 4 people. I think it's
LeBron, Russ, and AD.
And then there's one more. Yeah,
is it Reeves?
And that's THT.
Yeah.
Oh, THT.
Okay. But they even trying to trade him now.
But they should have never signed him.
They trying to trade him for an all-star caliber player.
He he did that thing in the bubble like a lot of young players did and fooled everybody, got some money.
Alex, what's your thought on the bubble after BooWop finished?
I was gonna say that basically speaks on like the Heat, like Duncan Robinson. Like I think he signed a 5-year, $90 million deal after the bubble.
He gone after this year.
And he played like 5 minutes in the Celtics series. Like that was an awful signing. That was
crazy, bro.
Yeah, he is gone. But I wanna go through these free agents and stop me where when you guys care. Kyrie could be a free agent.
Let's talk about it.
If Kyrie doesn't go to the Nets, where do you think he goes?
Well, question is he going to get the same money? That's going to all,
Well, he can only get paid. The extension, he can't get the same amount the Nets are going to offer him. That's because the team you're signed with,
the ballpark though. But even that is just a lot of bad talk about Kyrie around the league. Like a lot of people are afraid to sign him to the max. Or
well, they did say they're going to re-sign him. They're going to offer him.
New York. I definitely see.
The Knicks.
I definitely see a situation where the Knicks say, you know what, let's sell tickets, let's throw money at him. We already have Julius Randle. Maybe we kind of try to shell him out somewhere for a pick or something, and they just say fuck it, because what else do they have to lose?
You're right about the Knicks for sure.
I don't think Kyrie's going there unless
that's the thing. I don't
care. I don't care. This is where I'm sending you. But I don't think Kyrie gonna be like, here, send me.
I feel like because you asked him if he can get the same the most money or like in the ballpark.
Yeah, that's
put over him. I 100% see a world where the Knicks say, hey, Kyrie, come sell tickets, come ball out. You're still in New York. You're still basically in the same location. You get to be the man of the show. You get to focus on whatever you want, because at the end of the day, as long as he gets them to the playoffs, that's better than the situation they're in right now. So I feel like even if it's a ticket selling situation, they say we have Julius Randle for like 20 something million. Why don't we just throw him somewhere and then get Kyrie Irving to do basically what he did?
No doubt. I can see that.
The Knicks. Messing around with the Knicks, they're gonna go get John Wall.
Yeah.
No, in the Knicks, they'll just get John Wall here. You can have RJ Barrett, Julius Randle. You can have
Mitchell Robinson and give us John Wall.
Everybody. Yeah. Just give me John Wall.
I could see that scenario though. That'll be a decent scenario, but I don't know. I don't know if Kyrie wants to go back to Brooklyn. Yeah, it seemed like he kind of don't at the moment, but we'll see.
No, he said it says right here. It says Kyrie has stated his desire to re-sign with the Nets and continue playing alongside Kevin Durant.
Oh, okay.
But if they lowball him, then is he still gonna want to go back? Is the question.
He doesn't have to take the extension though. He still has a playoff.
He can opt in.
Yeah, he could just opt in, play this last year out, and then see what he does this year. Play a full season, because you know what happened the last 2 years with him taking 2 sabbaticals and 22, 21, and then in 22, you miss half of the damn season because of COVID. So, but Bradley Beal, I think he has a player option too. I think he opts in. I think he's going to stay with the Wizards.
I think he opts in.
And if he doesn't. Somebody was saying the Trailblazers, but then I just think it's just another CJ McCollum, probably better than CJ McCollum. I would say that, but how much more the Celtics? Nah. I would take a point guard before I take Bill. We need a point guard.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know how long Marcus Smart could be our point guard. I don't.
Why do you say that?
Unless you're saying that Marcus Smart is just going to bring the ball up and kick it to Tatum and Brown in our sets, then perfect. That's fine. I don't care. But him taking 22 shots, like, do we want that going forward?
That's why I'm saying I see a world where we can probably do something like because we still have the $17 million trade exception. So I definitely see us doing something like signing a player, like, for example, Duncan Robinson from Miami. He makes 17 mil. The money works there. We can get him for low because they want to get off his contract. We keep him, and we could send either White or Smart, and that's 34 mil right there. Add Daniel Tice, that's another 9 mil. That's the max or whatever that he wants. That's $43 million in cap space right there that we can send to the Warriors for Bradley Beal. I personally feel like No, I'm sorry. The Wizards. My bad. Yeah, my bad. I personally see that being the ultimate goal for Boston, for us to get him, because if we get him and we only have to lose a random player that we don't even have on our roster currently, Tice, another person, whoever, and then between White or Smart, and we just lose.
But then my thing about Bradley Beal coming to Boston is now you got 3 guys that need the ball. You got Bill, Tatum, and Brown. Who's number one? Then it's like, it's Tatum. All right, we know Tatum's number one. That's established from this year. But who's the number 2 now? Is it Brown? Now Brown's going to have to feel like he got to fight for another spot when he was already fighting for the number 1 spot. Now he got to fight for the number 2 spot.
I don't even know why y'all thinking that, because that.
No, I'm not thinking it. I'm just going at Alex's logic of trying to get Bradley Beal. I don't think it's smart for us. We can move the money to get him, but I don't think he works out with us having a top 10 shooting guard, if you call him that, and Jaylen Brown.
To me, it's another scenario where I think especially if Boston wins a title this year, you definitely can't just move.
Oh, no. Of course not.
You're talking about a guy that won the Depot, as the point guard of your team. Like you would have to.
No, I'm not saying move on. I'm not even saying trade Smart. I'm not even saying get him off the roster. What I'm saying is I don't think he can be our point guard going forward. We talked about this a little earlier. Like I just don't think he's been good in the role, this year, but I don't know how that's going to translate for teams that's scheming for us now.
I think you're right. Like I ain't gonna say that part of it. Like because to me it was still everything going forward is hindered off of what Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown become. Like regardless, like everything. Marcus Smart can afford to teeter down a little bit.
Yeah, because I just don't want him taking 22 shots. So that's what I'm saying. Like he could take 10 of those, but knock 12 off of that. I don't mind him taking 10 shots a game, but to take 22, that.
But you mean just in any game, like never? You never?
No, I mean I don't want to see consistently him taking 22 shots, and I know it doesn't happen. It's probably a game here, but I just think we can upgrade the point guard spot where the person is more of an offensive threat that they have to pay attention to when we get to the playoffs. A more scoring threat than Marcus Smart, then we take some of that pressure off of Tatum and Brown. Because if you look at it, go ahead, Alex.
Oh, my fault. I was gonna say if you feel that way, then I personally feel like slide White into the one spot, and I'm personally not a fan of the double big. I'm not. So if we can get a PG, whether it's Smart or White or whoever else you may think, and we can slide Bradley Beal there, I think he can work with the Jays. Or we already know how close he and Tatum is. So I see a world where Tatum says, okay, I'm not going to take so many shots because this year he's already established himself as a better playmaker. And we've all been saying the one thing he lacks is getting his teammates involved in passing the ball, but he made a leap in that. So if we can get Jaylen Brown to be that Kyrie who, I'm gonna get a bucket, or the Kevin Durant, not obviously not at the same level, but just how the Nets had James Harden, an elite passer and scorer who took less shots. Tatum can be that, and then we can have Jaylen Brown be the KD. I'm gonna go up the court, get a bucket, because now I have Bradley Beal and Jason Tatum right next to me. So I cannot be guarded one-on-one. And we saw how much he struggled with defenses collapsing on him, like in the Heat series, because he's not used to that. He's not used to the defense looking at him so much. So now if we have Bradley Beal on the court, that opens up the floor one-on-one, and we have Bradley Beal who could be the Kyrie spot. He's a decent passer, but also someone who can get a bucket one-on-one. I feel like we can make that work, and I feel like if we do that, we'd be I think we definitely do that if we lose.
We would definitely be a force to be reckoned with if they can make it work, though. That's a big if.
It is a big if.
One superstar and two stars, or Bradley Beal might be even a superstar, borderline superstar in his prime. Like to ask a newly announced superstar, a newly announced star, because that's what Brown is, to take in this guy who's on the back, like going towards his back end, and then it be dominant. We don't know how that's going to play out because Bradley Beal is a ball dominant player. He is. And I don't know if he's at the point, because look at Carmelo. When it came time for Carmelo to take a step back, Carmelo couldn't do it. Not a lot of players can do it that's at that caliber. You get what I'm saying? Bradley Beal is at that same caliber Carmelo was at. He's a star, and some may argue in his prime a superstar, like BooWop said, on the cusp. But to take that guy and just be like, come here with these two young players that's blossoming in the system that we set for him, and now we got to fit you into the system, I don't think that works. I just don't think a Bradley Beal type ball dominant player. We need that. We need a pass first point guard that can facilitate the offense, drive and kick. And if he drives, he can make it. The only reason why I wouldn't put White White at the one is because I don't know how consistent White can be there. I know he's a good player, but I don't know how consistent he can be.
He's a combo guard at best. He's like Marcus Smart. That's what Marcus Smart is.
Better shooter Marcus Smart, little worse defense.
Yeah, I would say way worse defensively, almost.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So we could definitely move, but I think then it's like all these things we're doing is just like, okay, if we then have to move Marcus Smart back to the bench, how does he take it? So that's what I'm saying. I don't even think he goes back to the bench. That's why I'm saying, like you said, you don't like the two guard combo, the two big combo. All right, you can have a point guard, Smart as our shooting, Brown as the 3. Tatum at the 4, like, because we used to do it anyway, and then Robert at the 5.
You definitely can do that.
I like that better.
Yeah, I like it better because then Smart would be the defensive anchor more than trying to have to produce shots up, where we could just find it in the offense and just have a point guard that can give you 12 to 15 points a night. That's it. And then Marcus Smart can give you 12 to 15 points. JT's giving you 25 to 30. JB is giving you 25 to 30. Robert Williams is giving you 15.
No, it would be great there. Mike Conley.
Yeah, I would like Mike Conley. People sleep on Mike Conley. Yeah,
Mike Conley would be great.
Y'all sleep on Mike Conley and Jeff Teague.
That's what I've been over here doing for like the last 5 minutes, thinking of the perfect point guard.
Point guard. That's what point guard, not position point guard. Mike Conley.
Mike Conley be perfect there.
Jeff Teague, if he was still that same type of Atlanta player, then yeah, Jeff Teague I would say too, because he was just on that. In my eyes, he was on the same little.
D'Angelo Russell would be nice there too.
I was just thinking that he blossomed as a defender.
But see, I think that works because he's not as ball dominant. You can make him come off ball, or you can make him take a third option. I don't think you making Bradley Beal taking a third option. That's my thing. I don't
even think it's about making it. I just think it's a harder fit. You're just bringing another guy in, like, and all three of these guys to me can pass a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not who they are as players. Like, you're asking them to literally, you know what I'm saying? I don't think Bradley Beal has the James Harden in him. Like, I can just be your point guard for you and still be a threat scoring. Like, he's a scorer at heart.
James Harden is next too.
Yeah.
So I'm a segue into him because somebody said
he's super opting in.
Yeah, he's definitely opting in because he don't know if he's gonna ever see that money again either.
Super.
And that's just me talking as a fan because we don't make that money. So, but somebody said something interesting about James Harden. They said that James Harden, and it was an ex-basketball player, he said that because James Harden didn't condition like he was supposed to, take care of his body like he was supposed to. He said James Harden game is predicated on twitching, fast twitch movements to get a player. Yeah. Twitch. So he said he's older now, he's slower, and his body isn't conditioned enough to keep that at the same level of being as fast as he needed to be to get people. They said that's why he's willing to take the second option or third option on the team because he even knows that he's not that caliber player. So James Harden opts in. If he doesn't, where you guys think he goes?
If he doesn't, I think he goes to. It's gonna be some teams that want him clearly, but he's just not gonna get that money. He's not getting that money.
No, he definitely ain't getting that money.
I don't see him on the playoff team that does anything. I don't think a lot of playoff teams at this point. Yeah, that's why he was signed. I don't see if he doesn't stay with Philly, I don't see it. Like I don't see a team. Obviously he'll get money and he's gonna stay, but I just don't see it.
No, 100%. I don't. But yeah, it could be just that he's getting old. He's unconditioned.
I see BooWop thinking. He's really trying hard to think about where Harden could go. I see it.
It's really nowhere though. Like,
there's nowhere, but
I'm saying.
Listen, he wanted to be in Philly anyway, so he might as well just stay there. The question, I think the biggest question for Philly is can Doc utilize this version of James Harden? You have to get rid of Tobias. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Tobias has to go. You have to upgrade your wing position. You need to.
Especially for $35 million a year. Especially for $35 million a year.
And somebody would take him, the Magic, the Kings. Somebody would take Tobias Harris.
He didn't play it on the Magic.
They would take him back. All right.
Why?
Hey, Tobias Harris and Aaron Gordon played on the Magic.
Not for that money, though. Don't nobody want him for that money, though.
Listen, one of those low teams will take him.
No, they won't.
Yes, they will.
It's just like trying to get off Westbrook right now, man.
No, and a team will take Westbrook right now. I'm telling you, that team.
Yeah, some, but it's just like ain't nobody running at it right now. Like it's
because they want to get him as low as possible. I get it, just like John Wall. I think if the trade talk was serious enough, somebody would have took John Wall, but they probably was asking too much for him.
So I heard
you gotta take his contract.
I heard that the Lakers would take the contract though last year. The only problem
did say they'll take the contract. They didn't want to give up a first round pick.
Exactly, that first round pick.
So that's why I said when we're talking Westbrook and John Wall that you could swap. They could have swapped Westbrook and John Wall, but they just didn't want to give him Westbrook in the first round pick for John Wall. And the Rockets wanted the first round pick because they're in rebuild mode and they want to get some more young pieces.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done it.
Where do you think is that going?
To the Lakers. Going to the Lakers, probably.
Yeah, I see it. He's talked about it a lot.
So Westbrook, Levine, Horton, Braun, AD. Is that a potential 5-man lineup?
5 seed.
Would the money work?
I don't know.
They would have to go get G League players for the
I
money.
don't know what they gonna do. I'm just talking shit.
They're gonna have to go get G League players for the money. No, I think the money will work, but they would have to move on Westbrook.
I don't know what Zach planning on doing. Like, if I'm him, I would try to go to Miami.
Miami's a good fit.
Like that's to me. If I'm a scoring guard, I'm going to Miami. That's what they need: a scoring guard or a scoring player. I would go to Miami.
What about the Mavericks? A boy of mine told me a long time ago, how would he fit on the Mavericks next to Luka?
I said Bradley Beal should go there.
See, my judgment is out on Luka having a second option.
But that'll be a perfect number 2 for Luka, a legit number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, my judgment is out on Luka having a number 2 because I know Porzingis was injured some of that time, but they really relegated Porzingis into a catch and shoot guy.
Yeah, but I just don't
instead of utilizing him in his strength. I think if they utilized him in his strength, him and Luka could have been good together.
But that's like you saying what you said about Middleton. Like, even if you're saying Porzingis is solid, Beal is a better number 2.
No, 100%. I agree with you 100%. But
that's what I'm saying.
I don't know how, because Bill is ball dominant, Luka's ball dominant. That again, I would go back to the ball dominant thing.
I don't think Beal is ball dominant. I think Beal needs the ball though.
100%, which can become ball dominant. How is he going to get in a rhythm if Luka's taking 35 shots and he's not? He's taking 12.
But he's not going to do that. I don't think Luka's going to do that.
All right, when Luka needs to take the game over.
The difference is like you can't like Porzingis can't create for others like Beal could. Beal can take a lot of pressure off of Luka. Like Luka don't have to be the same type of player unless he just wants to be that type of player. And I don't know if that's truly like what he wants to do. Don't nobody want to be fucking tired, you know what I'm saying, come playoffs because you have to carry the load every night like James Harden did basically in Houston.
Yeah.
He got tired of that shit because it gets overwhelming.
But when you want to be the man, sometimes that's what you got to do to be the man.
Yeah, no. You can still do that and have iconic games and heroic type games, but you need help to win.
No, definitely. I'm big on people having help, just not on the names of the help they have. You know that. Like I don't. If your team signs a player, Sam, if your team signs a player, that means they thought that player was what they needed to win. And if it didn't work out, it didn't work out. Just go get another piece. Go get a better piece. That's why people sign people we know.
I feel like Bradley Beal actually wouldn't be that bad in Dallas because when he played with Russ that one season.
Yeah, they made it to the playoffs.
In Washington, he averaged like 30 and on good efficiency, and he definitely was off ball. He definitely was on the catch and shoot, coming off screens. His game was more off the ball.
Yeah, but that's different.
So I feel like he could definitely fit in that system with Luka.
But Russ' game translate. Thank you. Good luck, Simp. Simp is a Warriors fan, so. But the difference with Luka and Westbrook, though, for me is I know they saying Luka wants to be more of a LeBron and pass the ball than shooting, but I need to see that from him first. And I know, like, you could say, his help wasn't adequate enough. I know a lot of people like going there. But Brunson was balling. Yeah, he was up and down. Finney Smith was up and down. I get it. They didn't have Tim Hardaway Jr., but I want to see it from him before I make a prejudgment either which way, good or bad, with him having a number 2 option. Because I can only go off what I've seen with Porzingis. And I know Porzingis is a different type of player. He's not a shooting guard, blah, 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 blah. But I don't know because then you'll have Brunson, Bradley Beal, and Luka, which then Brunson is about to get paid. So then how would you sign?
Have Brunson and Beal?
Well, they already said they're going to pay Bradley. They already said they're going to pay Brunson. Oh, yeah, so that's all I'm saying.
They saying that, but they don't know the number he asking yet either. He finna test the market. Trust me. They already saying it.
I think I saw the number was like 485 million for the whole 4 years.
Because they was trying to give him some in the middle of the season. He turned it down. He bettered himself because they was trying to extend him early.
Yeah,
give him like that look.
That's the best thing you can do, though.
Yeah, bet on yourself.
Get a player to extend early is what I was talking about.
Oh, from the management standpoint.
Yeah, that's the best thing you can do.
Yeah, I'm not going. If I'm a player, I'm gonna bet on myself.
Yeah, bet on yourself is the best thing you can do from a player standpoint.
Not always though.
DeAndre Ayton, he's an unrestricted free agent.
He's gone.
Gone.
Where?
I know he ain't gonna be in Phoenix next year. I know that for a fact.
Now, this
was
is what I
thinking-
wouldn't mind. He could come over to Boston, and then Rob could be our second big.
I don't think.
I'd take him. But I feel like he's
Definitely
more.
take-
I feel like he'd fit more in a place like Charlotte. Pass first, big man. No, not pass first, big man. Pass first, point guard. Very quick, good lob threat. I feel like he'd make it work because the only thing the Hornets are really missing to take them, I feel like, into that top 6 seed level is a true big. And I feel like DeAndre
I think if
Ayton might put
Ayton
them in that.
walks, I think if Ayton walks, Chris Paul calls Clint Capella, and he's like, "Yo, you want to come to Phoenix? We could just do what we did in Houston." Because I mean, it's, to me, it makes sense because they're going to need a big man. If you can call Atlanta, tell Atlanta, "Hey, let's do a swap." Since DeAndre Ayton is better, but he's going to walk. I need something adequate for him. Give me Capella, and you can have him. But you're also going to throw me like 2 picks to get Ayton. But just give me Capella, and you can have Ayton, because then they still have an adequate big man where Chris Paul could pick and roll with, and he's used to picking and rolling with him. So I don't know. I think that works for me. But yeah, I don't see Ayton there. Ayton's gone.
Or you can try to go to Dallas.
He can.
I was gonna say that too. I feel like all 3 of those situations would work very well for
the Bulls want Rudy. So
the Bulls, I was gonna say the Bulls could use Ayton too.
The Bulls want Rudy. They're trying to make a trade for Rudy. I would like to see Rudy Gobert on another system before I judge him too, because I know everybody,
He's gonna be the same player though.
I don't know. I don't know.
He's still gonna be a good player. Like,
no, that's fine, but he might become more of a scoring. He might become more of a scoring threat. You don't know, bro.
If used correctly, I think he could.
Yes, all he needs is the right coach and the right system to show him what to do down low. Get some tutors. Okay, with the Embiid,
the Mitchell passes. Those are Donovan Mitchell passes.
Didn't Embiid and other big men go work out with the legends of big men? He better go work out with somebody this offseason. Tell him what his weakness is and ask them to fix them. I don't care. It starts now. It starts now, BooWop. It starts now, BooWop. Dropping 25 and 12.
Never.
Offensive rebounds.
Never.
25 and 12 offensive
15
rebounds.
15 and 14 is what you get, which is still
it's still good. It ain't bad.
Like I just don't get it. Like far as not y'all, but I'm just saying, like, the whole notion, like, he's not a number 2 option. Never will be, but that's okay. He's still a great piece on a championship team, like, to have. Like, you cannot deny him. Utah, to me, don't even be a playoff team without him. And he's not their best player, but he is their identity. Like, he's what they do. Like everything starts with him, low key.
On the defensive end, of course, 100%.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like we don't look at Utah and be like, that's a great offensive team. We look at Utah and be like, that's a great defensive team. And it's because of Rudy Gobert. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. Because
you're right.
He needs to do, yeah. Jalen Brunson, we touched on him a little bit. I'm only doing the top 10 free agents. Then we got Miles Bridges.
I think Charlotte might have to re-sign him.
Definitely got to re-sign him.
They got to.
But then he might want some money too, and it's like Charlotte trying to better their roster, and they don't think he could be a key piece to that, but a key piece to winning a championship, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, in Charlotte, he perfect there because he can be like that number 2, like number 3 type option player or whatever. Not a lot of expectation. He got chemistry with those guys right now. You put him somewhere else, he might lose whatever it is that we synced last year. Because again, I need to see it twice. So I would rather for him to stay in Charlotte and try to capitalize off of that success.
Yeah, I agree with you. Have some consistency.
Yeah.
If you're Charlotte, though, do you not look at the roster and look at Miles Bridges and think about maybe this team would work better with a DeAndre Ayton or a Rudy Gobert type of center? Because if they put their chips onto LaMelo and like try to force him into like this Luka role, like 28 points, 10 assists, whatever. Because I personally feel like LaMelo could be that. Obviously, maybe a little bit less than Luka because Luka's like all time. But I see a world where LaMelo Ball is averaging 23, 24, 10 assists with a true big man setting the pick and roll with the lobs, with shooters around him. And I think that Charlotte would definitely want to try that more before they say, let's run it back with Miles Bridges.
I agree with you on that for sure. I'm just speaking because I think it's a scenario where they probably can still sign him and Aiden, I think they have room because they're not gonna give him the max. So unless they're
that's what I'm saying. But how he played, he could definitely look for it if he wanted.
I don't know about the max.
So
I don't know
the max is not a super max. You got to remember that it's not the super max.
Right.
Like 20 mil a year. Like 20 mil a year.
Yeah. What is his max? And you got to think the player for him, because I think each player max is different. It's about the type of player that he is and the max.
You can only qualify for like a super max if you got an all NBA or something like that.
Shit like that. Yeah.
You got certain levels to that shit. But yeah, I think Miles Bridges, like I'm just saying, like you can afford to lose them to a certain degree if you're going to bring in a player like Aiden, of course. But I was just talking far as I think they possibly can potentially sign both of them guys.
I think they can actually.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, because I don't think Aiden's on a super max, or he can't qualify for a super max either. He would qualify for a regular max, probably like 25 to 30 mil a year, something like that, which is good money. So
yeah. Colin Sexton.
I don't think they keep him. I don't.
I think Cleveland let him go.
Where do you think he goes?
What team really needs a scoring PG?
That's a good question.
Boston can use him.
The scoring part he would have to stop.
I think
he would have to become a PG and not a scoring PG.
Yeah,
he don't have to be like.
Only thing we're gonna need is 15 points out of him. After that, Sexton, make sure you're getting the ball to the other guy.
I'm just saying Boston could use him. I ain't saying like that's the end all be all for him, but like I'm trying to put a guy in a good situation, a winning type situation, because obviously he's an NBA player. He can go to Orlando he can go anywhere. Shit, he's an NBA player, but
the Heat can use him. They need a score. They need more scoring on their team.
I was just thinking about that. I was thinking
you have
that,
Sexton,
but how would
Victor, Jimmy,
PJ.
Siakam? Siakam, because remember Siakam's still there. Siakam and then Bam.
You said the Heat.
Yeah, you have Sexton, Victor. If you put in Victor Oladipo on your starting lineup next year, you have Sexton, Victor, Jimmy, Siakam, and then Bam.
Siakam.
Oh, he's on Toronto.
I thought it was like a free agent. Like
I just mixed them both up. Toronto. I just put both the teams together.
Okay. I see.
Who's PJ or somebody? Yeah, PJ Tucker or somebody like that. But yeah, I can see Sexton going over there because I definitely think right now he's better than Kyle Lowry. He could definitely produce more points than Kyle Lowry can.
No, 100%. But how would it would have to be in a 3-team then? 100%. I see you making it work, but what does Miami really have to send out that other teams would want to take Kyle Lowry's contract?
Well, he's a free agent. He's a free agent. They could
Lowry?
No, Sexton. So he's a restricted free agent. So Cavs can match, but we saying they're gonna let him walk. He then becomes a free agent. So he walks. He just signs with the Heat, and you can just make Kyle Lowry come off the damn bench. For now, he's still an adequate enough point guard to run an offense, but I don't think he's good enough to give you the scoring that the Heat need. We've seen it from this year. Heat need more scoring. They need more scoring. They need more shooters. They need more shooters. 100%. Sexton will help that. What about Nurkic from the Trailblazers? I thought he used to be good, but then it's like he had too many injuries. I know he can still glass protect and rebound, but what can Nurkic really give you?
I feel like if you put him, I feel like it'd have to be a situation where like the Mavericks and or the Hornets don't get Ayton or Gobert, and they're like, oh, like screw it, like let's just go pick up Nurkic because this is probably the best big available that they are going to have their chances to if they miss out on Gobert and Ayton. Mm-hmm. So I feel like
he's like the last. Yeah, he's like the last option.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Bruce Brown might be a good pickup for some teams.
Yeah, he's not there. He's not staying in Brooklyn. There's no way they afford him. There's no way.
And then Bobby Portis too has a player option. We talked about that a little bit, but just some other names that's free agent. Wesley Matthews. What's that?
He can go wherever.
Yeah, Green from the Nuggets. I'm bad with names, so I ain't gonna butcher his name. But Green from Denver. Joe Ingles is somebody I'm watching because he had an injury, so I want to see how he come back. Pat Connaughton has a player option. Dante DiVincenzo for the Kings is a restricted free agent. PJ Tucker has a player option. JaVale McGee too might be a good signing. They re-signed Bobby already. All right, they re-signed Bobby, which they better have re-signed Bobby. But Bobby didn't need to be re-signed. That's a extension. They gave Bobby an extension. So,
they did.
Because he had a player option. Bobby had a player's option. So you got Joe Ingles, Pat Connaughton, DiVincenzo, PJ Tucker is a player option. JaVale McGee for the Suns is going to be big. I think they need to get him back. Montrezl Harrell, I don't know if he stays with Pat staying put. I don't know if Montrezl Harrell should stay with Charlotte because I think he can go back and find a team that can give him a role like he was on the Clippers.
He could be that same role though for the Charlotte team though.
Yeah, he can. He gave him spark though, and I like what he did for Charlotte. He came in with a bunch around those young guys because he's young himself, and he helped them. He did help them. This guy Kyle Anderson has got to be one of the slowest players in the NBA.
I think guys like Montrezl get that to any team you go to. Like it just matters more on the teams, that got something going for themselves, obviously.
Andre Drummond is a free agent too, so I'd like to see what the Nets do with that. They're going to try to go get a better big man. Victor Oladipo, free agent. Goran Dragic, don't really care about Goran. He's old. Marvin Bagley III is a free agent. So it's some good free agents out here. Definitely for some teams to go snag and Kyle Anderson's ass. He's not, but he's slow. Like his jump shot is extremely, extremely slow. I don't understand how I don't get blocked every single time. I don't understand how that guy doesn't get blocked every single time. All right. Come on, Boston.
Hey.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit. 10-2?
Yeah. It's time to you already know.
It's time 10-2. You got to get ready, right? Let's close out once Alex get back up here. We can close it out. Because I'll save the tier list for later.
My bad. I was just putting the game on.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. BooWop got to go to work soon, so I don't want him to be late.
Okay.
So, Alex, if you open next Wednesday, let me know. We do the day shows at 12:25 p.m. Eastern on Mondays and Fridays. So if you could ever make one of those, just let me know, man. And then you could come get the real side of us, the heated side and stuff like that, and we could really have some real discussions.
Got it. I could text you, and we could definitely discuss that.
Yeah, definitely text me if you want. Send me your number on TikTok, and I'll text you right after this. So we keep in touch. Because like I said, I got respect for you talking your shit, and then coming up here and talking some sports with us. But yeah, BooWop, give us final thoughts. Let's get it better here.
And you already know, man. We see you guys on WAP. I see you guys late Friday.
Yeah,
late Friday. But yeah, got a couple battles on the Fade Room this week.
Yeah, we got actually a battle in the Fade Room on Friday.
Yeah, Friday. So
3 p.m.
I'll be there for that for sure.
Trent versus Nigel. Make sure you check that out. And then we got the basketball for brains versus Dub versus the world.
Oh yeah.
Should be a good one. Should definitely be a good one. Alex, final thoughts, man.
Appreciate y'all for having me. Thank you for letting me come and address my thoughts and seeing where I stand as a person instead of just thinking of me as a troll. It was a very good show. I respect the way it's set up. I like the conversations. It was very good. We definitely got to do this again.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thank you for the guys that did stop by. It was a new time, and we didn't put out that we were doing a new time. So some of the normal people that normally were being here, they wasn't here. And they're busy, so we know. But those guys, you'll come a time where chat's full, they going off, we going off, and it'll be all fun. But shout out to you guys at home.